Airbus believes the aircraft should stop the pilot from making a fatal mistake. Boeing believes the pilot should always have the final say, even if they're wrong. Airbus flight control systems use envelope protections that resist or prevent the aircraft exceeding certain limits. Too much bank, too much pitch, too much angle of attack. The aircraft pushes back. Boeing traditionally gives pilots greater direct authority instead. The difference isn't accidental. It reflects two completely different aviation philosophies. Airbus evolved around a more automation-protective mindset. The system safeguards the human. Boeing historically centered the pilot as the ultimate authority. The human safeguards the system. Same objective. Opposite psychological assumptions. What makes this uncomfortable is that both approaches produced extraordinary safety records, meaning aviation spent decades proving that two contradictory beliefs about human control could both work at global scale. The argument never ended, it just became software. The unsettling part is this. Every time you board an Airbus or Boeing, you're stepping into a machine built around a completely different answer to the question of whether humans should be trusted. Some Airbus pilots say transitioning into a Boeing 777 feels less like learning a new aircraft, and more like relearning how aviation itself thinks. The Boeing 777 has carried more long-haul passengers than any other wide-body aircraft in history. And its cockpit philosophy is aggressively unmistakably Boeing. Large control yokes, traditional handling logic, systems designed around pilot authority first. Pilots moving from Airbus to the 777 often describe an unexpectedly difficult psychological transition. Not because the aircraft is harder to fly, because the assumptions underneath the cockpit are different. Airbus automation tends to filter and protect. The 777 expects the pilot to command first. Same mission, completely different relationship between human and machine. What makes this stranger is that both philosophies became extraordinarily successful. Both crossed every ocean, both built exceptional safety records, both created generations of loyal pilots, meaning aviation spent decades proving two opposite cockpit ideologies could both dominate globally. The unsettling part is this. Somewhere above the Atlantic right now, two aircraft are probably solving the exact same problem using philosophies the other manufacturer quietly believes are wrong. Parts of the Boeing 737 MAX certification process were effectively signed off by Boeing itself. The Federal Aviation Administration delegated portions of the 737 MAX certification work back to Boeing engineers through a system called Organization Designation Authorization. The idea was efficiency-trusted manufacturers handling parts of the compliance process internally under Federal Aviation Administration oversight. But after the MAX crisis, that relationship came under global scrutiny. Critics argued the balance between regulator oversight and manufacturer delegation had shifted too far, especially around systems like MCAS. The European regulator EASA later took a more independent review posture during the MAX's return to service process and publicly signalled areas where it wanted deeper scrutiny. The result exposed a deeper philosophical divide in certification culture itself. Modern aircraft became so technologically complex that regulators increasingly relied on manufacturers to help certify the machines they were building, which created an uncomfortable question. At what point does oversight become dependence? Because aerospace regulation only works if the regulator remains psychologically separate from the company it regulates. The unsettling part is this. The more advanced aircraft became, the more the people checking the work had to start trusting the people doing the work. Boeing did not lose commercial aviation dominance because Airbus built better aircraft. They lost it because they misunderstood cheap flights. In 1990, Boeing controlled over 60% of the commercial aircraft market. Today, Airbus leads globally, and the gap keeps widening. Not because Boeing suddenly forgot engineering, because Airbus made one market prediction at exactly the right time. Airbus aggressively focused on the A320 family just as low-cost airlines exploded worldwide. Short-haul routes, high-frequency operations, cheap ticket economics. Meanwhile, Boeing spent critical years betting heavily on wide-body strategy for a hub-and-spoke world that was already starting to weaken. The future shifted underneath them. The biggest market share reversal in aviation history was not decided by safety, or speed, or prestige. It was decided by millions of passengers choosing the cheapest seat between European cities. A boardroom-level industrial shift driven by people clicking sort by lowest price. The unsettling part is this. One of the greatest industrial power shifts in history was not won in the sky. It was won by passengers trying to save £40 on a weekend flight. Airbus and Boeing have spent 50 years arguing over the shape of air. Both companies are trying to solve the same physics problem. How to move hundreds of people through the atmosphere using the least fuel possible. And they reached different answers. Boeing often favors longer, more flexible wings, optimized for cruise efficiency at altitude. Airbus tends toward slightly stiffer designs built around broader operational flexibility. On paper, the difference can look tiny, fractions of a percent, but across millions of flight hours, those tiny aerodynamic gains become billions of dollars in fuel burn. Entire aircraft programs are built around microscopic differences in drag. Two manufacturers, two philosophies. One atmosphere that doesn't care who's right. The unsettling part is this. Modern aviation is so advanced now, the biggest arguments on Earth are measured in millimeters.